We are live with the Pedro and Hannibal YouTube channel. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a productive, great day. Hope you had a good weekend.
Yeah,
I'm here with this guy over here. His name is Pedro. How was your weekend?
that's me. It was good. I spent a lot of time doing some yard work. I finished I did a lot of stupid house person things, and body was super sore. I played basketball yesterday. That was fun, but I feel like
I know this guy over here started to say, "Hey, listen."
old.
Now, if you guys don't know, Pedro is a St. Louis street ball legend. He finally starting to show because summer's coming up,
Yeah,
and summer's basketball, right? So he was like, "Let me fire up my YouTube. Let me stream. Let me show the youngins how a baller plays." Now, I think
horrible.
he says
Horrible.
Horrible. I mean, I didn't say anything.
I rusty as can be.
Rusty.
I can hit my free throws, but man, I was getting tired. We played full court a little bit.
Right.
It was just it was great, but man, I ain't what I used to be. That's for sure. That was evident yesterday. Playing with guys half my age. I did okay, but not normal. But when you don't play for a while, it's to be expected. But I had a good weekend though. It was a really, really good weekend. So.
Well, you're not the only one that plays with people half their age, because we're going to be talking about that extremely.
Yeah.
I don't know what she is. She has to be a model, obviously. Drea Michelle, 39 years old, and she's pregnant with I guess the father is going to be a 22-year-old man. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I saw some videos of her. She's amazing looking. I'll say that. Like,
she's a beautiful woman.
I don't know if it's been any work on her, but anyway, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
How hot she is and how she's cradle robbering. But let's talk about this, the biggest story in my life right now that happened a couple of hours ago. I go on my phone, I have the ESPN alerts, and I see Saquan Barkley signed. I'm like, okay, he's probably not signing back with the team. Okay, he's probably going somewhere else. Now, there was some rumors of him going. Someone said Cowboys. I'm like, I'm gonna curse. There's no fucking way he's gonna go to the Cowboys. He's not gonna be in the division. He's gonna go somewhere else. Good luck, right? Because the Giants did not want to pay him a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because of the history of he gets injured every season and he misses games. So the NFL teams do not want to pay a lot of money.
No.
Well, apparently, he was able to sign with the team. He signed with the Philadelphia fucking Eagles, our rivals.
I didn't see that coming. I saw Cowboys, Eagles, but I think I'm going to tell you why I think that happened. But I want to hear your feelings.
I don't know why it happened. Because I'm assuming that's the most he got. That was the best deal. He's not necessarily a diehard fan of the team. He's a businessman. He went and got the best deal for him. I think he probably was not happy that they gave Daniel Jones a good deal. And Daniel Jones didn't get like a crazy great deal. Like,
no,
he had the market price of a quarterback. But he wanted a deal too. And it was like, you taking care of him and not me. So he went to our rivals. And it's like, so I didn't even text you. I didn't even send you a message. I was like, you know what? What I'm going to say? I have nothing.
Later on. I texted you.
Yeah, you texted me later on.
Yeah.
But by that time, I did go through my stages of grief. First, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, why would you sign with that team? Of all the teams, why would you sign with that team?
Yeah.
But then I started to figure out, like, well, the Giants didn't want to pay him. He's injury prone. The Eagles are looking to make a big difference because they really tweeted out towards the end of the season in a really weird way.
Yeah. And
you thinking, okay, you bring this guy with the quarterback. He has another option. Maybe he doesn't have to run as much because he gets hurt too. So I understood it. I just like, damn, so we got to meet this guy and the Eagles gonna beat the shit out of the Giants. The Giants are basically back in rebuild mode because now we're not even sure how well Daniel Jones is as a quarterback. So we're out. Like we're
2 years ago, you guys won a playoff game 2 years ago. Not like you guys were ascending. You had the coach, the newer coach, and it just hasn't really worked.
Well, you need a quarterback, and Daniel Jones is not. He had one good win. You sign him. And I understand why, because usually quarterbacks winning a playoff game the way he did it, like, okay. But we're back to, I still like the coach. Not sure about the quarterback.
No.
And who's he throwing it to? Who's going to run the ball? They signed some guy named, I forgot. They signed somebody.
It's not.
From the Texans. No, it's not. Of course not. But
not.
They signed some guy. I'll look up the name. But it is what it is. What we going to do? Like, what you going to do?
I mean, I think, so I've never seen free agency like this. Big names, running backs, quarterbacks, switching teams. I mean, well, I'll go over a little bit of the list, but I think what happened with the Saquon, I'm guessing here. I don't have any information, but the Bears we signed a free agent, DeAndre Swift, the Eagles running back, solid running back. Not a he's pretty solid when he's healthy. Yeah. So that's a big signing for the Bears. It helps the offense. The Bears have signed some really good safety. I think a safety and a strong safety. I mean, we've signed some good people, and we got the number one pick. The Bears are looking up, in my opinion. If we do the right things with free agency so far, but with the draft, I think we could really have a solid year next year. But I think I'm assuming, let's say the Eagles lose DeAndre Swift to the Bears. Now they have a hole. And they're looking at, like, okay, these other running backs are signing with other teams. I think Saquon was available. They gave him an offer. He accepted. And they lost a guy. They got to get a guy. So for me, I heard about DeAndre Swift being signed before Barkley, and I think the chips just fell in that way. You got people like the Tony Pollard guy from the Cowboys is gone. He's somewhere. Derrick Henry's going to be on the move. Josh Jacobs went to the Packers from the Raiders. I mean, our boy Russell Wilson's with the Steelers. Kirk Cousins is with the Falcons. So a lot of things have happened in just like the last 10, 12 hours, and I've never seen anything like it. But the Saquon one was the most surprising.
It's interesting because they it's interesting when they say, no one's talking until like the day of, like, no, people have been talking for a while. It doesn't work that way. How all this is happening in 8 hours, right?
Yeah. It's wild. I mean, things are happening behind the scenes, but the Saquon one to me was just like, damn. I thought Cowboys. I don't know why I thought the Cowboys would spend money, but the Eagles is just, they've let go of a lot of guys, and that's a big signing for them. But they've lost guys to retirement. They've let go of guys. So I think it's the Eagles. They had to do something. And I think this was a big move just to kind of save their offseason. So
yeah, I mean, Barkley got 3 years, $37 million. It can go up to $46 million. So they took care of him. He wanted to go somewhere where they're going to take care of him. And then the Giants went and signed Devin Singletary, a 3 year, $16.5 million deal. Yeah. Apparently, former Buffalo Bills running back. So
Bills and Texans. He was with the Texans last year. He had some good games, but Devin Singletary's a backup. He's not a lead back, so it's not. They're just filling the hole. But it's been interesting, man. Kirk Cousins, $45 million a year for Kirk Cousins. That's a lot of money, man.
Kirk Cousins has finessed the NFL
contracts
and money.
He's finessed almost as good as Daniel Jones because Kirk Cousins is better.
I would get how many playoff games did Kirk Cousins won? I don't even know.
Hannibal, stop being crazy. I know you're going through the 5 stages of
I'm gonna look. All right, I'll look it up. I'm gonna see how many Kirk Cousins.
But if you're telling me right now you'd rather have Daniel Jones versus Kirk Cousins, you're delusional, man.
I didn't say that either. But I'm just saying how many playoff games did Kirk Cousins won? For the amount of money paid to him, he is robbing the NFL. But these teams are signing him. How many playoff games Kirk Cousins won? Maybe he did. Maybe he won like 2 or 3. Okay.
I think Kirk Cousins. Let's see. Hasn't he won a playoff game with Minnesota?
I got the answer. How many? You can guess how many. What do you think?
Kirk Cousins has won 0.
No. Apparently he won 1 and 4.
Okay.
1 and 4. So
did he say was it with the Redskins or with the it doesn't say.
I actually look exactly where he won. Did he win it? He didn't win it when he was in Minnesota, right? He had to because
I don't think he won one with
2020 in the wild card versus the Saints.
Yeah.
That was his one. But he's making a lot of money. So, all right, who's the better quarterback? I would say yes, Kirk Cousins. But Kirk Cousins has demonstrated, yes, he's a pretty good season quarterback. But 1-4, meaning once you get to the playoffs, he will just stink it up. So yeah, well, for this right now, we're so screwed. Yeah, I'll rather have Kirk Cousins right now. But for the future to try to win, no. I mean, that's why he's where he is right now. So
yeah, good point.
It's depressing.
I've never seen it. It's crazy. And then another thing that was shocking to me, I don't know if you saw it, was so Josh Jacobs goes to the Packers. The Packers release Aaron Jones, a really good running back. Aaron Jones is Aaron Jones is better than Josh Jacobs to me. I don't understand that. I don't know what's going on with the NFL, but it is what it is. These guys make a lot of money to make those decisions, but it just seems a little odd. And Russell Wilson to the Steelers.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised by it. I think this could be a good little rebound for him. The Denver thing was not good. Steelers are a good team. They got some good offensive weapons, always have a good defense, got a good head coach. So I think it's a good spot for him. It doesn't cost the Steelers anything. I think it costs the Steelers like not even $2 million because most of the money is going to get paid by the Denver for the next 2 years.
They're paying damn near everything.
Yeah. Low investment. I think it's just good for him. Change the scenery. I think he needs it. He needs to Denver was not good. So I think this is good for him.
But what's the difference going to be? I mean, Russell just did not look good at all. He looked old. He looks washed up. Like, is the Steelers going to come up with schemes to, I don't know. Like, what's different?
Russell Wilson was, by the numbers, decent last year. He wasn't great, but he was better than he was the first year with Denver. So, I don't know. We'll see. Steelers got some good offensive weapons, but so did Denver. So, Russell Wilson, I think he needed to change the scenery. I don't think the people liked him there. I don't think he connected. I think he was awkward from the whole let's ride thing. It was just weird. So I think I think Pittsburgh's a good fit for him. So.
I think Sierra messed him up.
You think so?
He won in life. It was over. Like, he already retired. He has this woman. Yeah. She's amazing looking, popping kids out every 5 minutes, and then still looks like she's 22. Why would you care about throwing a football? Yeah. He's in the entertainment a little bit. I don't know if he's a good person or not. He seems like it, but former players seem like Russell Wilson don't fuck with you. Like, you won't know his number. He keeps himself as aloof, which doesn't help when you start to suck. People are like, well, we don't like you anyway. And you don't talk to us. Like Marshawn Lynch, like, I didn't even have his number. But mind you, like, isn't that crazy? You don't have Marshawn Lynch's number. You like, I would love to have Marshawn Lynch's number.
That's right? I'm saying.
And him,
it's like weird. It's weird.
It's a weird one, right? So, this NFL season is going to be interesting. Yeah, I think they don't care about running backs.
I will say this as well. I think based on the teams that people thought Justin Fields, the Bears quarterback, could possibly go to, the Falcons being one of them, the Steelers, they got quarterbacks now. So. There's some talks in Bears camps to where, like, they might keep Justin Fields, not draft Caleb Williams. That's that's one option. Yeah. Another option is you keep Justin Fields and you draft Caleb Williams. There's some talk that they might do that. I'm not sure why, but there's some people thinking that they might do that. Yeah. And see who has who wins the job, and maybe Justin starts and Caleb is there, and Caleb gets traded the year after. Who knows? But there's a lot of interesting things the Bears could do, and I think the Bears, they should be better next year. I know I said it last year. We ended the season on a high, so I think going into next year, I'm optimistic. So we'll see.
Well, it's definitely over for the Giants, and I haven't ran away from the bet. I probably wear that Bears gear, maybe in LA, and really confuse people. You're a Bears fan? Like, no. Where are you from?
That'd be a great conversation starter, man. Where in LA? That'd be good.
Hey, man, you from Chicago? No. He's like, why? Like, no, I'm actually from Brooklyn. I don't know.
If you wore like a Justin Fields jersey to the event in LA, that would be your whole existence. Would be people asking you about the Justin Fields and are you a Bears fan? That would be your whole.
Oh, that would be so annoying. I mean, I don't know if I'll maybe or at least during one of the days I'll just walk around as if I'm a Bears fan. Like, what do you think about this upcoming season? I'm like, nothing.
Nothing. I just like the number one. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. So yeah, Giants. It's us and the Commanders. Who's the worse? And the Commanders may be better at this point.
Yeah, dude,
did it dirty.
they did. They did.
So I want to talk about a little beef between Tiki Barber, former Giants running back. He said some stuff, and I don't know if we'll get to hear how he said it, because he's a radio host. So radio host, you got to be entertaining, a little provocative or whatever, like nothing like that serious or whatever. But anywho, so obviously the news comes out that Saquon Barkley is leaving the Giants. He's going to the Eagles. So the former New York Giants running back, which he was a great running back. Tiki Barber was the man. I mean, beginning of season or his career, he used to fumble a whole lot. He was a fumbling idiot.
He did, yeah.
And he fixed it. And dude was, like I said, the workhorse. He did very well. He was a pretty good team, and then for some reason he wanted to be a broadcaster, and he kind of left early. Talked a lot of shit about the Giants on his way out. Talked shit about Tom Coughlin. Talked shit about Eli Manning, and Eli Manning responded by beating the best football player in the world, not once but twice, and won multiple Super Bowls. And he'll be a Hall of Famer, while Tiki Barber won't.
No. Tiki Barber's the Hall of Fame of big ass fucking heads, though. That dude got a big head. I always remember that about him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
old he's on. I think he's on the radio, and he says, Barkley signing, he's dead to us. He signed a 3-year deal. Like, he still affiliates with the Giants. Obviously, he said he's dead to us. He says this in a local radio station, but apparently, actually, can I hear it? Let me see if let me see if I can hear it.
Tiki Barber. His brother Rondé is better football.
Yeah. Okay, so that was a joke. Smiley, like he's not that serious. I don't think so. Like
Tiki clapped back, didn't he?
Well, no, Saquon.
Saquon did. Yeah.
Saquon clapped back, but let me see if I can see. I got. All right, they keep. You know what the problem is? They keep moving the damn screen to the next one. Give me a second. After I click that,
I didn't realize Saquon had been in the league for 6 years.
Yeah, he's been here for a minute. So I want to make sure you guys see what I see. Okay, so he says, he dead to us, but it was very funny, kind of a jokey kind of thing. I don't think now I'm looking at it, it's not that serious. So he just says that kind of like a joke. Saquon goes on X app, adds him, and says, "You're the prime example of loyal to a team. I got the deal I wanted, secure more than which was not given to me. So the fans want to hate me, so be it. I never turned back on teammates and always had theirs." There was another one that he had.
The business, man. These guys are, a lot of people talk about the players, but where's the loyalty from the team that drafts you, and you're a good teammate, you're out there all the time, like you could put up good numbers when you're healthy. Like, there's no loyalty from the owners, so why should the players be loyal to a franchise?
Right. And Barkley's not mad at the fans. The fans wanted him. Everyone's upset right now. Like, no one's like, "Oh, that's great." Like, everyone's like, "This is terrible." But the fans don't decide who to sign, who not to sign. That's general managers. And obviously, the owner has to pay to cut the checks. So I'm sure the team president and the general manager are like, "No, we cannot give someone $40-50 million who's a running back when he's hurt all the time. He gets hurt every season. He misses games. That's all running backs do. That's why they're so important, yet so, I don't know, discarded or not valued, or I don't know the word is, to explain that you do need a solid running game, but you don't want to pay the guy who's doing the running. That's hard to kind of understand, especially if you are a running back.
Yeah, it is, and he has had some injury issues, but I mean, when he's healthy, Saquon's one of the premier backs in the league, catching out the backfield, running the ball, scores touchdowns. I mean, I don't see a lot of teammates. He doesn't have issues with the media, the teammates. So
no, he's a solid dude.
The running backs are not as important in today's NFL. They're just not. Situationally, they are. But overall, you could draft a good rookie running back, get him on a rookie deal, and these rookies come in and they're ready day one most of the time. So if you look at the last few years, so you don't need to pay a running back top money. And usually when you do, it doesn't work. So this isn't the 80s and early 90s when you had to have a back that was like you touched the ball 30 times a game. And, it's not necessary. It's too much pass driven right now. So,
yeah. So Barkley made another comment for that. He said, "You've been a hater since I got to New York. I have no idea if that's true or not. And all that don't talk to me. Don't smile in my face when you see me."
Ooh, oh Lord.
So I don't know. I will go with Saquon is a little too sensitive.
Yeah.
Tiki Barber he was kind of joking. The guy kind of amped him up saying, "Oh, say it again." Like like obviously you go and you sign to the rival in the same division. Like it was a bit sensitive on Saquon's part. I'll say that. As much as I find Tiki Barber to be a little weird, that wasn't that serious. It wasn't that serious. He needs to chill out. You're good. You got your money.
It could have been that Saquon wanted to stay, and he was upset he had to go somewhere else. And he got money, but maybe he expected them to give him $50 million or something like that for 3 years or whatever. Maybe he wanted that. He doesn't. Some players don't like to move and get a new home, and they like their teammates and they want to be with one team. So it could be that he's leaving and not feeling great about it and feeling underappreciated. And then he sees Tiki Barber say something, and he ain't Tiki's a weird dude. We talked about this before. Like he's weird.
It's just his disposition. I don't know if he just the uppiness of it. I mean, it just seems off. I think that, and then the way he left the Giants, talking a lot of stuff. He was criticizing Tom Coughlin's coaching ability, criticizing Eli Manning's quarterback ability, and they turn around and win the Super Bowl. So it is, it is what it is. Do I think, like, what do you think of how the Eagles are going to be? How they're going to fare? I mean, obviously, I think they probably got the division, but what do you think? Would they going to go far? You think they're going to be in the Super Bowl?
I don't think they're better than the Cowboys. Not even on paper right now. They weren't better than the Cowboys last year towards the end of the year. They lost their starting center, Hall of Fame center. That's going to hurt. I think they lost another offensive lineman. They signed Delane. They signed another guy. They lost Fletcher Cox, a defensive player. They lost a safety, I believe. They've lost people. They lost a running back. Like, they got Barkley, but I don't know. I feel like they're a team that is probably still going to be in the playoff hunt, but they're not what they were 2 years ago. They just look different. Yeah. They look like they got that confidence and that mojo. I think the Cowboys are a better team than them. I think they're pretty close, but I give the edge to the Cowboys, and the Commanders and Giants are far below both of those teams.
Yeah, we're fighting for who's going to not be the worst team at division.
Basically.
So we'll see what's going on. Anything else? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, Russell Wilson went to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Barkley left. In my opinion, I think the Eagles are probably not going to go win the whole thing. I think Barkley gets hurt. He's going to miss a few games because Jalen Hurts got hurt. Yeah. And if your O-line is not as strong as it should be, you can put them down. So do I think this makes a big difference? No, I think, and it could be emotion talking, but when you give, a running back a lot of money, do you ever get that money back in return?
Right. You don't.
Todd Gurley, like there's a lot of running backs you dump, the dude, Zeke, you give him all this money, they may give you one good year and then they break apart. So I understand the Giants being a little bit more maybe stingy with the purse strings, but you're looking at analytics, and now you're looking at all the numbers, running backs. How old are you? Said 6 seasons. That's a lot of wear and tear in the body. So I that's why I said I went through the 5 stages of grief. I'm like, acceptance. They were not able to give him the kind of money he wanted. Someone did, and we got to move on.
You mentioned Todd Gurley. I want to say something about that. Todd Gurley is younger than like Derrick Henry, younger than a few. I think he's like 28 only. He's not in the league anymore. But Todd Gurley is a great example of a guy that had amazing years with the Rams. Like he had a couple years, maybe 2 years in a row. He was a top guy in the league. Yeah. Rushing touchdowns, yards are off from scrimmage, crazy. And he went to the Falcons. He had a lot of touchdowns with the Falcons, but didn't produce as much. But his knees, these running backs go through a lot. So the life expectancy of a running back, man, Barkley 6 years in, some would think maybe his best football might be behind him. Yeah. Get older as a running back, it's just different, man. They don't make guys like Emmitt Smith anymore, playing for.
No, I don't know what I don't know what they do. And I guess I'm bouncing a little bit off, but LeBron James, I didn't know this was stuff that was talked about on YouTube and other parts of the internet. How does a man near 40 physically is able to do what he's doing?
Well, he says, I mean, to his own words, I think he spends like $1 million a year on his body. So I think that helps when you have the best nutritionist. Or maybe he doesn't even eat that well, but he's got people cooking the meals. He's got a nutritionist, a dietitian. He's got massage people all over the place. He's got the best medicines, the best equipment. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's fun.
Speaking of medicines, so is it possible, because this is not natural, a human being does not maintain that level of athleticism
and still be really, really good.
And still be really good unless there's something up. Kevin Garnett made a joke. He wasn't serious, but he said, "Oh man, LeBron's on that Balco." And if you guys don't know what Balco means, Balco was the company or the whoever was setting up the medication for baseball, where he had Barry Bonds involved in it, where they got these guys, they take this stuff, head gets 5 times bigger, they become like the Hulk and just start smashing home runs, save the game of baseball, and then now all of a sudden it's a bad thing. I mean, y'all cheating, but I saw some videos I've seen and nothing's concrete. Is it possible LeBron is on steroids?
Is it possible?
Is it possible?
Absolutely.
He's on some kind of probably illegal to maintain that level of athleticism this late in the year. No one does that. I don't see anyone that looks as good as he does at that age. Is he on some shit?
I'll say this. Is it possible? Yeah. I would be very surprised if he did that though. I just,
really?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. Do I think he's on something? Yes, I think he's taking things. Who knows what it is? When you have that kind of money, he's a billionaire and he's had money forever.
Well, yeah.
You know, he can have things and supplements and this. And do I think it's something illegal? No, I don't. I don't think that. I think LeBron's very, very smart. And I don't know if he would jeopardize his legacy, because that would be if, let's say it came out and he was on steroids for less 8 years. He's been on roids and these things heal you quicker. That would be a huge hit to his legacy. Absolutely. It would completely take him out of the GOAT conversation.
Okay, a lot of people don't like him and would like to find, but I don't look at the same when an NFL player or NBA for some reason. Baseball, for some reason, people really care about it. But like NBA, like you can't shoot the ball better if you're juiced up on anything.
No, but
you can't.
It allows you not to get hurt or to recover.
Recovering quickly, yeah.
So when you have a sprained ankle, you have this, you're recovering just way faster. So
which makes sense. It's cheating. I agree. But like even NFL players, they get hit, they take 4 games. We don't ever think about like, oh goddamn cheater. Like they take their 4 games and they move on. So I'm just, it is interesting though.
Yeah, Big Carl says TRT and stem cell injections. I mean, it could be. I don't know. I mean,
oh yeah, shout out to TRT. That's what. Again, I'll always repeat this. Thank you, Big Carl, for bringing it up. I will as soon as I can, as soon as I make enough money. TRT. I'm gonna be like LeBron James, 50 years old, dunking on people.
I know you said that you said it enough times now that I'm beginning to believe you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And now I'm worried because your YouTube channel broke crazy. Now I'm waiting for Hannibal. I'm gonna meet him one day, like next. I'll be like, I'm gonna walk in, this big dude just standing. I'm like, what do you want?
Well, you got the key component, and before I start is you have to be working out. You can't inject this shit and then muscles start popping. You gotta work out, which I still haven't done that consistently. To waste my money on that. But if I am, man, I gotta get that money up. But
I'll say this, and this might be a hot take for some of y'all. And Welty, Big Carl, you guys are sports fans. Lee, anybody else that's watching, you guys let me know. Because Hannibal mentioned it, the Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa home run. That saved baseball, and I remember watching that. It was a big deal, ratings, and it was awesome. Sosa, McGuire, that was amazing.
Yeah,
I have no problem with those dudes that were taking steroids. I have zero problem with it, actually. Now, the only problem I have is if you were lied about it. But Jose Canseco was juiced up. He admitted it. Rafael Palmeiro lied in front of Congress or whatever. Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer before he decided to take steroids.
But I think Barry hasn't admitted it. He keeps saying he didn't, right? Has he ever said I actually did it?
I don't feel like Barry ever admitted it. I know Jose Canseco did. A few other people. a few other like
McGuire. Maybe he admitted because does he still work? He's a hitting coach for a team.
Coach for the Dodgers for a while, and then I think he went somewhere else. I don't know if he's still in baseball or not. I know Barry Bonds, he was a hitting coach. A lot of these guys became hitting coaches because they hit. You hear Barry Bonds talk about hitting a baseball. I mean, the man was next level. But to your point, the steroids make something that's supposed to go 380 feet, go 420, and that then becomes a home run. It gives you just more power, right? More strength. But I didn't have a problem with it. Roger Clemens was juiced up, Andy Pettitte. A lot of these guys were doing it. So for me, when you got so many of the top guys that are juiced up, they're competing against each other. It's almost even. I don't really. It didn't bother me at all. I think a lot of these guys should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't see a problem.
Many people say like you could put whatever information context to it.
Yeah.
But some people in the problem is baseball is age. The fans are a little older. So you know how the older dudes want to be like, it's about the purity of the game. And back in my day when popcorn was 5 cents, I watched, blah 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 play. And
they went to the games. They had their suits on with the little hats.
Right. It's like we can't give a guy that grew his head 3 times the Hall of Fame because clearly Barry did something. The man did not look the same.
No, he didn't. He's basically twice his size.
Yeah.
He was a thin guy. He had power and speed, but he went all power the last, let's say 8 years of his career or something like that.
Yeah.
Scary looking. But I saw a stat line. His 1 year where he was getting walked a lot and basically hitting a home run every other game, right?
Yeah.
There's a stat line. I mean, it's a crazy stat line that a player could have like 112 home runs and all these RBIs and their OPS is what they call it, like on base plus slugging, would still not be as good as Barry Bonds. That's how good he was that year with the doubles and the home runs and the walks and being on base all the time. So, for me, he was feared. It was fun to watch him play. The Sammy Sosa Mark McGwire thing was even better. When McGwire hit that home run versus the Cubs, he like lifts Sammy Sosa up like he was a 2-year-old, and Sammy Sosa was a big dude.
Yeah, he was a big dude too.
Yeah, it was a good time in St. Louis. So.
Yeah. Problem is with Sammy Sosa, he was like doing something weird with his skin. I didn't know what was going on. Like
bleaching his skin.
Trying to light, and he did not. I don't know if anyone would tell, like you look weird. You do not look as. It doesn't work that way. You just don't lose the melanin, and you don't look like you look ridiculous.
It was sad. It's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welty with a comment. I watched Michael Jordan's 1990 3-point contest today. He shot 5 for 25, so he's slightly better than Ben Simmons. All right, I guess we can argue about Ben Simmons real quick.
Man, listen, you know what you said about him a month ago. Remember what I said, right?
Probably something negative about him. Something accurate, I guess, too, because he came back, played some decent games, and he's out for the season again. You
got really excited because he had a stat line, and it was like, just wait, he ain't gonna play the next day, and then he didn't play the next game, and then he hasn't really done
it. The Brooklyn Nets had to overcome a lot of salary cap issues, like years and years ago when they signed Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and all those people past their prime to have decent seasons. Like nothing, we never went to a point where even close to a championship. It was just a playoff team. They cleared that out and got some good pieces and had D'Angelo Russell and Jared Allen and didn't really like a lot of really not stars but borderline stars. And they went to the playoffs. They were doing well. And once Kevin Durant and Kyrie were like, "Oh, we're gonna go here," blew the whole thing up. Yeah. Right. Jared Allen actually talked about this. I think he was on a podcast with JJ Redick talking about sacrificing culture to bring in those stars. I'll say this right now. If it was able to do it again, I would do it again. Like, I'm sorry, you may not like that, but like, if Kevin Durant wants to come to your team, you gotta go, like.
You don't say no to
Kyrie and Kevin. Like, we're going to come to Brooklyn. Yeah. Sorry. I mean, yeah.
There's 10 guys in the league. If they want to play in your team, you sign them. Point blank, you sign them. LeBron, KD, Giannis, Luka, Joel Embiid, Dame Lillard, like Steph Curry, like Kevin Durant, like those guys, like you sign those guys.
Yeah.
SGA, Victor Wembanyama, which is going to win Rookie of the Year. Some people could say defensive. He's had a great rookie year. Those kind of guys, you give them whatever they want to go on your team.
And yes, it was a mistake. Yeah. Durant and Kyrie are not leaders. Harden came in and they, for some reason, there's a lot of weird stuff. It was Kyrie couldn't play because of the COVID stuff. Harden was mad about that. I think both Harden and Garnett, I keep saying Garnett, Durant, I think they wanted him to get that shot. Like, come on, we got no time for this. We're trying to win the championship. Kyrie didn't. Playing around. Then Harden wanted to leave. And that's the Ben Simmons shit it falls into. Harden wanted to leave.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, fuck it. We got Durant and Kyrie. All right, fine, go. We'll bring Simmons. Simmons don't need to score. He don't need to shoot. Just play. And the man couldn't play.
He's not playing. But you know what? We've talked about him before. I think a lot of it's up here with him.
It's all in up there.
He lost the confidence. That when he was with the 76ers, he had a bad playoff series. He's passing up layups to do just not good basketball IQ when he has a basketball IQ.
He has a high basketball IQ, which is
Here in basketball, when you don't have confidence, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you don't have the confidence when you're doing things and moving and passing and shooting, it's really hard to be good when you lack confidence, regardless of how much talent you have. It's really
it's done. It's a lot. It's just a lot of you have to rebound from all that salary cap stuff, and
play in the NBA again.
Yeah. Because as much as I don't think Ben Simmons like playing basketball anymore, but I'm sure he loves money, and another team will pay him to play, or maybe he'll go overseas and play. Maybe he's Australian. Maybe go to Australia and become the best Australian. Like he doesn't care about playing basketball. It's a few players that had that. I think what's a few players that you could come up with that you knew did not love playing basketball. Whiteside comes out of my head immediately. This guy had talent, but the guy didn't care. He didn't care. He didn't care about playing basketball.
Well, some people say Joker, one of the best player in the league right now.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
He's very kind of like, but he goes out there and he does his
But the
job.
Competitiveness, you could tell the man wants to win. Like he's here. Yeah, he has a job.
He does.
But he is trying to play. Like there's a passion, and he wouldn't be allowed to get himself beat up and get 30 routed on him, and he'll be happy about that, right? So, but yeah, Ben Simmons don't care about basketball. No. But he cares about money. He wants to wear those goofy outfits while he sits down on the bench. I don't know.
We can be haters. He's a young, handsome man with a lot of money, and
a lot of money.
He can do whatever. He's living a blessed, charmed life. I just would like to, I hope he's okay up here. I think he's lost a lot of confidence. It's weird.
Well, as a young man, at least he is not impregnating any 40-year-old women.
Yeah,
let's just get into it.
You have a picture of her?
Well, I was gonna put a video. You want a picture or a video?
Video's better. Yeah, let's
okay, let me see which ones we got here. So what do you know about Drea Michelle? Like, be honest, I don't watch any Real Housewives or whatever these shows are. But what do we know about her?
I remember her face, but was she on one of those shows?
Okay, I think she's been on one of these
basketball.
One of those reality TV shows. I think she has some kind of definitely some modeling stuff going on. But I don't think we need sound. We're just gonna put on random videos of her. Give me a second. Let me share this real quick. But yeah, she's a very attractive woman. Wait, where am I? But anyway, this woman has
and she has a son. Hold on. She has a son that's 20 or 21, right?
She has a son basically the same age as as her baby father. Baby father's 22. She has a son named that's 22 years old. So the question is, and she announced it, and she's getting a lot of backlash on just her, are you taking advantage of someone?
Yeah.
Are you taking advantage of this young man? Jalen, was it Jalen Green?
Jalen Green
from the Houston Rockets, a pretty good player. I saw a few some nice dunks and moves. So he, young guy.
He's not, I don't think he's done what some people thought he might. He's very athletic, but I don't think he's going to have the career that I think he could have had, and I think this is going to not help him at all.
So she is 39 years old. So we may be the same age because I'll be 40 in September. So we're around the same age. Now, even right now, she looks amazing.
Absolutely.
Right? A very amazing looking woman. But why would a 22-year-old man, NBA player, get involved with a 40-ish woman and then get her pregnant?
To me, and we've talked about this, that's the problem. Now, if you guys are married and in love, and maybe they are, maybe they are in love. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't think they're married, right? But I mean, I think she came at this young man and they did their thing. And my problem is though, how do you? Well, damn. Okay, maybe. How do you though, as a young man, you're fumbling your bag, bro. Now she's got your money. You're probably not going to get married. You got to pay child support. You got a kid with somebody that's old enough to be your mom, right? Like, come on. Like, what are we doing here? I mean, okay. We've talked about this. We need.
Pedro, what you say? Pedro, what are you saying?
I don't know. I'm confused at the moment. I'm confused, bro. Listen. Now, would I make some unquestionable decisions? Yeah, but I'm a grown-ass man and I ain't got no money.
You got no money.
All right.
Listen. This is the problem. Let's get her out because we need this is a serious conversation. We can't be looking at her behind.
We need one of these latex condom companies needs to support these young men in the NBA because these dudes clearly shooting the club up, not caring, thinking it's part of whatever and having a good time. I get it, but you guys have got to be smarter, man. You got to have something to protect yourself, man. You know, you can't. Zion fell under the trap. The dude with the PJ Washington with that Brittany Renner girl, right? I think that's her name.
Yeah.
This situation when this woman's almost twice his age, like it's just not good. It's not smart. You're not being a smart young.
I'm sure he's been talked to from either players on his team, organization. They talk to all players about this. The problem is
they do.
A 22-year-old man is horny. And then Brittany Renner talked about this. These people who say men are stupid.
They are, but I'll say this: Jalen Green's he's a good-looking dude. Like women, I mean, coming up in high school, college, this dude has women, younger and maybe even a little bit older, throwing them. I mean, he has a lineup of women, right? And she's 40 and she looks great, but it is what it is. But it's not about just getting some punani. Like he can get that any day he wants. There's got to be something more here. Like I don't know if she's targeting this dude. Like why are you going after somebody that young? Like it's not. If this was a dude, so if this was LeBron James, okay, and he knocks up Ice Spice, there's an issue there, right? People would have a big issue with that. There's a big age gap. What does somebody that far off in age have in common, right? That's what we would say if it was a dude, but if it's a girl, it's like, not that big of a deal. But these guys, I'm putting the responsibility on them. They got to be smarter. They got to They need to know how to move differently, in my opinion.
This is a good point. It's possible that from Nova Hustles, did she groomed him? I mean, is it a Jada Pinkett Smith and August Alsina type situation where August Alsina was basically a friend of her son, and he was around, and she took advantage of him. Now, also, Jalen's 22 years old. He is a grown man.
Sure.
He's in charge of his own decisions. I think a lot of us are saying that he's probably made a bad decision. Is he ready to be a father? Now, you just started your NBA career. You're not going to be home.
Yeah.
So you're already, like, that's why everyone's saying this must have been a financial decision because you're going to have to pay for child support because she's going to spend most of the time taking care of the kid. And then when that kid is 20, she's 60 and you're like 40, but whatever. I guess you need to think about that. But at that age, when you have everything, like I said, you're that tall, that good looking, you're an NBA player, people throwing themselves, women throwing themselves at you. This one is saying the right things and looks the way that you'd want your IG models to look.
Yep.
And they'll say anything to you.
Yep.
You will fall into this situation.
He's 20. So he's got at least 2 more NBA contracts he's going to sign. Now he's not a max player right now, but he's going to make a lot of money. So she sees that young dude coming up and the Rockets. Oh, okay. Houston. I mean, he's going to make a lot of hundred
more money than she could have made.
So now she's like, I can keep making my little videos. I can do my thing. I don't need to work at all because I got this bag coming in for the next 18 years, and he's going to be playing. He's going to be making money. I'm getting a decent amount of his check. So very strategic, some would say, on her part.
Yeah. And we're all looking, and it's like, why people still falling into this? But again, when you're young, you're addicted. You know, it's there. It's easy, and you're not thinking correctly. You're not making the best decisions. So the only NBA player who got a normal Instagram was Tyler Hero. That was not planned either, right? That was like
I don't know. I'm not sure. I know he's got some chick, and she was an IG. And people were giving some hell for it, but I think they're like together and maybe even have 2 kids now or something like that. So
okay, I
think Nova's pretty spot on with that.
You want if you're going to have children, you want to be in a committed relationship. Is that something that's not the most? It should be pretty obvious news or something obvious. You should just have kids just because you can physically do that and you can afford it. And this chick is hot. Like,
yeah,
it should be because it takes. It takes a lot of effort to raise a child.
It does. Clearly, we know that, and a lot of you guys in the chat, Carl, Nova, you guys are fathers. I mean, I'll say this. Listen, man, that woman is she looks that way. That body is built that way, and you're doing the thing. And I just think he didn't have enough emotional or intelligence at all. He's just like, I'm just gonna do this, and he got caught up in the moment, and she's probably telling him this because she wants to have that man's kid. And that's where I think that she, being twice his age and has a kid his age, yeah. She's got to be better. He's got to be better, but they both got to be better. But at the end of the day, he's the one with the bag. And he's fumbling some of his bag, and that's I don't like to see that for him.
Yeah, Joe Budden said it a few months ago. He said she groomed him.
Yeah,
she groomed him. Like, I don't know how long that relationship is.
It's crazy because if I did it. And guys do that, right? But I feel like are we seeing more of a trend of women doing it too? Like, is this like a thing? Like, obviously men have done that, but I feel like now we're seeing more older women with younger men. There's okay, we talked football earlier. My man Jay Cutler from the Bears, his ex-wife, her name is Kristen Cavallari, I think. My girlfriend watches all that bullshit. She's with some dude that's like half her age from TikTok. Like, this is a trend of like these older women that still look good. They want the young bucks, man. It's a thing right now.
Interesting. I mean, it could be the same thing as why men like younger women. Youthfulness, energy. You're not a lot of miles have been
miles.
Sorry using the car analogy, but that could be it. Is this a bigger context of the dating pool being so limited? Because the average woman does not think too highly of the average man.
Mm.
So if you can, and most women cannot, but if you are able to, you can bring some young buck and show him the way, so to speak. I don't know. Young women cost more? Not necessarily. I would counter with that, because you think about older women, they been around the block. So you can't, you could take a young woman and may take her to the Cheesecake Factory, and that may be a good date. But there's some older women who are like, Dad, that was just I'd rather go to a 2. Like, it can go that way too. So I'm just saying, like, it's not necessarily young women want more unless they had that ambition.
I think it depends. I think if you're a young IG kind of internet woman, just using your looks and not using your intelligence, your brain, then that girl's gonna cost you some money. But most women aren't like that. Most women are decent women, okay? Most women aren't these models looking for a bag. And not all models are looking for a bag, but it comes across that way, especially when you're not married, you're not in a relationship. They're probably not. It doesn't seem like they're living together. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there isn't semblance of like a real relationship. It's just like you're having fun. Oops, now I'm pregnant. You got a kid. Like, and it's just like, what? Like, that's what's happening here. This shit ain't playing.
And that's probably, they're playing around, and now he's in this relationship, and he's going to probably not be with this person long term because he's 22 years old and he's still got his whole life ahead, and he's going to find some other IG model. We talked about this many times. They got to stop having committed all right, if you're going to do this, like I said, protect yourself.
Yeah.
But you're messing with people who have ambitions that are there to take advantage of you.
Yeah.
And they're using their looks because you're young and dumb and you're horny. They're taking advantage of, because us men are stupid. I'm sorry, guys. We're dumb. At 22 years old, if Dre and Michelle came to you wearing that little bikini,
I'm hidden.
And you had no condom, you don't have them in the house right now. For some reason, you don't have them. And she said, come on real quick. You're still going to do it.
Yeah. I'm a dog.
So what? Most of us will do it.
Pregnant. I'm not doing that. I'm not. Listen, I had a kid when I was 19. I didn't have another one until I was 40. So like, you learned, you have to, and then it's like, okay, well now it's appropriate. Now I want to maybe, so, these guys have got to practice. They got to start using this up here a little bit more, man. Yeah. When
you're 22 years old, all that testosterone, you've been told since you were 12 that you are an amazing person. That's a problem. Is your parents. Like, I feel like parents, like Shaq had parents that told him, yo, you ain't shit until you take care of this. Don't, your word is your bond. Take it. Like, there's certain plays that you knew didn't, let's say, fall under just totally ruining your life over this type of situation. Like Zion's parents. Did Zion parents really sit him down and tell him, you really have to pay attention to what you're doing?
Yeah.
Don't have sex with porn stars. Yeah. Unless you protect yourself. Like, stuff like that. I don't know. I don't think that's happening. I think they look at their children, look at them as men when they're not men yet. Just because you're 6'8" does not necessarily mean you're a man yet.
Oh, no.
And
these
type of things happen.
It doesn't. I want to read this comment, but before it's going to be hard to segue, but I want to say this because you mentioned man and, being a father figure. My dad is 63. He checks me sometimes. He'll ask me about something if he sees, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what dads do. It doesn't matter how old your kid is. You need to still be a good father to them and hold them accountable and talk to them and ask questions. And you know what I'm saying? But to Giggity, listen, I'd borrow a slightly used, you know what? I don't even know what to say because I'd have to be hurt. I'd have to be down bad and horny as a motherfucker to use another person.
Oh, dude, that's no, do not. You're better off. I don't even know what you're better off doing, but not that.
Do some other. There's other things.
And what do you mean slightly? Like you didn't finish?
Yeah. It's not that
gross. Totally gross. Totally gross.
That's really bad.
But yeah, hopefully, there's no. I mean, it is what it is. That child's coming. He's got to take care of it. And like PJ Washington, like, good luck, fellas.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, PJ Washington's kid, he gave that kid his name. Like, he has his whole name. He's a third or fourth or something. So, all these situations, they might start off not ideal, but these guys could still be great dads and still be role models to their kids.
Yeah, now you have no choice. It's not about you.
Hard. Yeah, and it's going to be harder, though, when you've got, you're not setting yourself up in a great way. When you got a kid with somebody and they're twice your age and they're IG mod, like you're going to have to jump through some hoops in order to make sure everything's okay,
Yeah, I agree. Walty says, how my dad is the same age as Pedro's dad. You guys are brothers.
Listen,
or something.
Me and my dad were savages. We started young. What we were doing. And, it is. My dad was 19 when I was born, and I was my daughter was 19. I was 19 when my daughter was born. So this is how it happens,
Yeah, I hear you. All right, I got this video real quick. No context. I'm just gonna show it to you, and you guys are all gonna watch it and answer the question. Okay. Either this person is a hero or a hoe.
Ooh.
Okay. Hero or a hoe. So I'm gonna play it right now.
Here we go. Dear Leon and Zach. So I can't get into detail because this case is still open and pending, but to make a long story short, I got into some legal trouble and was facing some real time. I can't get into the details, but I was going to have to sit down for a long time. So I got a lawyer and he was preparing me to take a plea deal. Well, the way things turned out, my wife knew the judge. They used to go to high school together, and she said she would call him and see what she could do. I can't believe I'm telling y'all this, but my wife slept with the judge, and now I won't have to go to jail, and he's just giving me probation. When I asked my wife about it, she said she did what she had to do to keep me free and not to bring it up anymore. But it's really bothering me. I can't take it. Is she a hero or an HO?
Damn.
Is that real? Is that real?
Who knows? Probably not. But even if let's pretend it's real. Let's say there's a legit story. Because first of all, I don't think it works. Maybe. I mean, judges are pretty powerful. Like they can. Sometimes we see judges take down or put up like, or you don't go to jail for crazy shit. So,
yeah.
But let's all assume it's real. Okay. So, Pedro, you're about to go to jail for 20 years.
Oh, 20 years?
Well, he said sit down for a while. 5 years. 5 years.
Okay. 5 years.
1 year, I'm going to die. Like, anyway, 5 years. You got to go 5 years. But your girl is going to be able to do this. And she asked you first, though. Let's do 2 scenarios. One, she asked you first. And then the second scenario, she already did it. How would you feel in both of those scenarios?
If I'm going to be sentenced to 5, that means I'm going to do 2.5. And I'm going to do 2.5. I'm not going to let my woman sleep with a judge because I can't do 2.5 years.
Okay.
So that's how I look at it. That's a hoe to me.
Oh, so she did it and got you out of jail. Are you staying with her or are you leaving her? Like you got out, the judge let you go. You had no jail time. She tells you, like, hey, I had to do it to get you out of jail.
Listen,
are you staying with her or are you leaving her?
This is my exact words. I'm going to look at her straight in the eye and say, babe, I love you. Thanks for keeping me out of prison. But I can't fuck with you anymore because you slept with another man. So I just can't.
All right. Well, let's look at some of them. So Big Carl says both. No, you got to pick one, boy. Pick one, Big Carl.
You got to pick one. Pick one, Big Carl.
Welty says ho. Todd, you got to pick one. Come on. Yep. I guess another single said the same. Ho. She's a hoe. She's a hoe outside of prison or a hoe inside. So I'm surprised at you guys. Really? Listen.
So okay. So you tell me your.
Listen. If I had to go to this is how much I don't want to be in jail. If someone said it, if the judge said I gotta go to jail for 6 months, Carla better go to that judge and take it. I do not want to be in jail.
You're wrong for that.
I don't want to be in jail. All right, you guys may not know this. I've never been in jail before. Never been arrested. Right? My father did that. My family did that. My father's like, listen, Hannibal, I've been in prison. It's not fun. It's not cool. You've been told what to do. You have no privacy. You got shit. People don't want to see you shit. It's not. You got to fight. You got to fight,
bro.
You don't want to be. And I say, you know what, Dad? You're right. I'll know. So, I don't want to be in jail.
6 months. 6 months, son.
6 months. Hell no,
bro.
Hell no. Have you heard the story about Rikers? So you guys may not know about Rikers prison.
So are you talking? They're gonna put you in a hole in Rikers or like some?
Well, I mean, 6 months. You could be in. You could be in Rikers for 6 months because Rikers is a jail. It's not a prison.
Right.
But it's gladiator school over there, man. Like
it's grimy. No, you're gonna get in the fights. You're gonna. But I mean, I don't know, man. Okay, I've never been to prison. I've spent 2 nights in jail in my life.
Okay.
2 separate occasions, but it's just there was nothing. I was shackled at one point. That was fun. They gave me honey bun. Like, yeah, I made a mistake. I had one night in county. It's no big deal. I didn't get no fights. I didn't, didn't drop the soap.
But one night is a big difference between 2 years.
No, it is. But you know what, though? For me, since you brought up the 6 month thing, I said 2.5 years. 6 months, I can do 6 months. Am I gonna get in some fights? And it's gonna, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, but I'm gonna come out, and my woman, I'm gonna be a god to my lady because she didn't have to sleep with some judge. I didn't even have to proposition that. If she came to me with that, I'd be like, no. I'm doing this 6 months and we're going to be straight. So coming out of that 6 months, and then now I know she slept with some judge. Maybe the judge is sleeping with her while I'm gone. That whole relationship's ruined. Nah, bro, I'm doing 6 months.
Oh, so, okay. I because you're saying like there could be
long-term
other reasons why she could be doing all types. I understand that. Welty, Giggity says Welty is too pretty to go to prison.
Welty would not do. Welty is got that baby face, man.
No, he said I'm too petty. Now, Welty be fighting because that's the thing too. Like, but they also say that, oh man, as soon as you go to jail, as soon as someone says something like punch me, like do not do that. Like at the same time, you have to. It's all about respect. If you respect them, they respect you. I would if I had to do time in prison, I would talk to literally no one. I'll be the dude in the library reading the books. I'll be working out. I'm not gambling. I don't want no loans. I don't want no honey buns. no sugary treats. Don't ask me for favors. I don't ask you. I'll be completely solitary to myself.
Yeah,
that's how I'll do my time.
Well, that's not that's not a bad what's the word I'm looking for? Strategy. But that could backfire on you because some guys would look at you as prey, like, oh, we're gonna do, you know what I'm saying? So it depends, but like, I've never been.
That's why you gotta keep your body right. You gotta look like you have to look like you can handle yourself, and always maintain that you could. And also, if something does come to you, you have to fight. Like you can't cower to it. You're gonna have to get your ass kicked.
You have to fight, but you got to pick you have to. If somebody comes at you, I had something happen today. Hannibal knows. Anyways, you have to measure that human being. What is their intent? Just because they're loud or just because they're big, like you have to stay calm in situations like that and stand your ground. Like that is usually gonna work out to your benefit. Sometimes if you overreact or act first and you're not prepared, or that person really didn't want it could spiral, right? So I think you just sometimes being the calm in those crazy situations like is going to be a lot better. Yeah. That's what's worked for me. I'm not a guy that's been in a lot of fights. I've been in some, but sometimes you just have to read the situation. And does this guy really want to fight or does he not want to fight? Can I use my words? Because that's going to be better all the time. Nobody wants to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if it's not something that's really important at all. So, but 6 months, I'm doing 6 months. I ain't opening up my woman's legs for no jail.
Well, you didn't, she did it. Let me read this comment. Pedro, you get a fight on the court. No. Yeah, jail ball. No.
I will say this. I had my daughter, my oldest daughter, her mom pulled up on me at a court when I was like 20, 21. Our kid was like a year and a half at the time. And I was dating some girl and I wasn't with my daughter's mom anymore. And she didn't like that. So she pulled up with the girl I was dating as I was playing ball. I remember vividly. I'm sitting there doing my thing and here comes my daughter's mom. Here comes my new girlfriend, walking by each other to me at the court, trying to cause a scene. That was the fun.
No, that don't sound like fun at all. Let's go back to the feelings of the girls. So you got all of you, because I think one person said, Todd jumped in. He said, "Listen, one night in jail is way too much for me. I enjoy my freedom." Like I agree. Jail sucks. I'm not like prison is not good. And I don't know why there's so many people who would like to get you going back there. It's terrible because I love freedom. I love to I can't sit in one place.
Okay, so let me ask you this on some real shit. I hear you. You're right. So you're not in jail. You're sitting in the couch with Carla. You brought her up. You know that judge just did what
thank you. Listen,
you good?
I'm here.
You sit on that couch. You good?
Listen. Okay. Well, because at the same time, it's all about the relationship too.
Good point. Yeah.
Right. So I could see that. But is it interesting? Like, is a woman a hoe if she does something to save her husband or her boyfriend?
Not necessarily. No. Yeah. But I wouldn't want to put her in that position. But I could see why some people could say hero, but like, I'd want my woman to be like, motherfucker, you need to do 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want her to press me a little bit. I don't. Right.
Welty said you could take the man out of prison, but you can't take the cuck out of a man. Are you calling me a cuck, Welty?
Welty loves that cuck word.
Yeah, he loves it too. Big Carl said being in processing, smelling booty hole. Yeah, it's the smell, it's the disease. Go to Rikers is. They keep talking about trying to close Rikers down. How effed up it is. And like I said, it's not designed for it to be good. Like it should be bad, so you don't repeat it. So,
have you seen some of the ones in like parts of like Asia and South America? Those prisons over there,
they're like against humanity. Like
that is crazy.
Philippines, Japan looks pretty clean, but Japan always got their stuff.
Honduras and Chile, like parts of South America, it's nuts, man.
Haiti,
these guys are on top. Crazy.
Yeah, they don't care. Like you go to jail. And probably don't have that many issues necessarily in terms of what we got to deal with. Taking years to hear your case in some of these places, like crazy. So you're basically in jail, but everything's corrupt. Like you need enough money to buy your way out of the fucking situation. So it's a scene, man.
Yeah. Russian prisons. It's crazy. In some ways, we have it a little easier here, and I think I heard somewhere where there's because of the new laws in certain states with marijuana and certain drugs and things like that, and the police not having as much funding in certain cities, the rate of people getting incarcerated or spending jail or prison time is less.
Yeah.
And some people are like what's the long-term effect of that, both positive and negative? There's a lot of money in prisons. It's weird.
It's a little, you can, I mean, people are investing in prisons. I mean,
weird.
Exactly. Like very powerful people have lots of money in it. I mean, think about it. What we got 3 million people in our prison systems in this country. I mean, it could be a whole nother hour talking about that, but it's one on this platform. That was a good one. Listen, hopefully I will never have to be in that situation. It's definitely on some indecent proposal. Someone should make a movie about that. It could be on Tubi. It's definitely a BT-ish, Tyler Perry type of scenario. Like, it's so ridiculous, it's not real. But I appreciate you guys. Like, you guys stand on business. Like, hey, listen, I'm not gonna take this hoe in, even if she saved my ass.
I'm standing on that. I can't. I don't know. It would be. I don't know.
Your pride. You more concerned about the integrity of the relationship beyond your safety and going to jail and dealing with it, which I understand.
Plus, my chick is down. Madison, like, she's ride or die. So I wouldn't want to take advantage of that. She's somebody that would do whatever it would be.
And that may affect her too. Having sex with someone you do not want to have sex with, particularly with a woman, bothers them immensely. Clearly, obviously, but so it's not as simple as that ridiculous scenario. And most likely, was it real? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say. It's hard to say, but. Yeah. That's your life. Thank you, Qualia. Hello. Thanks for the 20, bro. Appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Thank you for the love. Yes, stay in high vibrations so you're not getting yourself in situations where you can be going to jail and your whole family has to deal with your shit. So that makes sense. Don't have that energy. And Pedro had to keep his vibrations up. That's your life. Wally with a $20 super chat. Thank you. Appreciate you. The hardest working man on any gig platform is that man right there. I mean, there's no argument. No argument.
That's actually
like, seriously, no bullshit. I've checked. I'm like, he's a machine.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else?
I guess we're good. You know what I think? We mentioned the prison. Maybe we should get into that. I don't know. I think there's a lot there. There's a history in this country with it, and obviously in the world and other parts of the country, they look at it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been great movies. Some of the best movies, that Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile, like
that's one of my favorite. There's a few, some more aggressive than others. Oz was a bit hard to watch at times. They were like, we're gonna show you everything. Like, this is this is a bit much, but and there's a really good conversation I saw. I think it was like Ice Cube. He was talking to Bill Maher. He was like, listen, a lot of these executives who run these record labels, remember the gangster rap and how they had investments in prisons. So think about that. They had investments in these private prisons, and you're creating the music that some people believe perpetuates the culture of putting people in prison. Now, for me, I listened to gangster rap for all my life. As I said, never had that situation. But I don't know if that's a conflict of interest. Again, that could be a whole different conversation. But if you're a record executive pushing out gangster music and you also invest in prisons, is that the same? Or is different investments? You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you're saying. I think we should get in one episode we should get into that a little bit and just see what the viewers think. I think there's a lot to digest. I mean, that's a hole though that's big, because going down that there's a lot there. There's just a lot. It's a big history in this country with it, and what type of people are incarcerated and for what. There's a lot to get into that, man.
Right. And I'm in New York City where they need to be in jail. Like, I'm not saying free. Like, there's people doing, like, this guy pushed his girlfriend onto subway tracks. She had both her legs amputated. The man got paroled out. Like, shit like that. He got paroled out for another ridiculous crime of hurting someone. All those things, you're doing something crazy and then you're able to get bailed out. No bail. Like, we can't go to these extremes, right? I mean, again, that's another conversation, but I'm not saying, they all need to be released. No, some of these motherfuckers need to stay there for a very long time.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We got to figure something out.
But then if you have money, or know people. Not if I commit a crime,
yeah,
I ain't got nothing.
oh, yeah.
I'm getting buried, right?
Yeah.
But somebody else got a lot of money and influence.
Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, before he got, he hanged himself. He got away with a ton of that dumb shit all that nasty shit he was doing. Because the guy was a billionaire and he was getting away with all that
when you got money.
Years before it kind of went too crazy and he couldn't avoid it, and then someone took care of him. I'm sorry, he took care of himself. So it's definitely a lot. Shout out to Nothing But Silicone with a $10 super chat.
Most people that are in, thank you. Most people that are in these prisons, you talk Rikers Island, whatever, Cook County in Chicago, Clayton in Big Carl, in St. Louis, Big Carl knows what that's about. A lot of these people that are in there, they ain't got no money. And that's why they're in there, because they can't get out. They can't make bail. They ain't got no money. They can't afford a lawyer. You know what I mean? So like the same crime is not equal, and that's kind of fucked up. It just is.
Yeah, it's kind of mixed, that capitalism mixed with supposed to be justice, supposed to be blind, which of course you have all types of advantages if you're able to bail out and you're able to go home for trial and come back every day with a nice suit. It's a big difference between you and you're in a prison jumpsuit looking all terrible. So it's a big difference in how even psychology, how things are perceived. I'm a big fan of Prison Break. I thought that was a pretty good action show as well. I don't know if you saw Prison Break, but
I've heard of the show. I've never seen an episode, but I know of it. But I never watched it.
Hannibal thinks he deleted himself. Cute. But the fact is, all right. Conspiracy theorists aside, I don't think anyone believes that he killed himself. And how both of in the prison guard sleeping now, yes, prison sleep, and that's, but both of them, and what happened? Are they fired? Disappeared? Like, listen, he had too many enemies, too many powerful people. He had royalty.
Yeah,
went to that island.
I'm still waiting for. I've heard that there's been fake reports and fake names on the and then I want to know the truth, man. I don't really.
Well, definitely Bill Gates went there. Bill Clinton went there. I think Chris Tucker went there, and I'm like, not Chris Tucker. Hopefully, he was just there to do some goofy laughs and do some dancing. Right. Like he didn't. Not Chris Tucker, bro.
If you're going there and you're those kind of names, like, you know what's going on. You have to. You're not blind to that. These are smart. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
It's just a really, really, really bad situation.
Yeah, they're gonna get more information coming out there, but it's hard to say who actually did it, who didn't. I know, like Aaron Rodgers do a joke. I don't know if he's joking about
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel going, and that was wrong. Like usually he's pretty good with the barbs. You can't just say that to a guy unless you know he went there, because that's kind of fucked up. And I don't really like Jimmy Kimmel. Like I don't like him anymore. He's terrible. But I thought that was kind of.
You know who they need to bring back, man? I like Conan O'Brien back in the day. I always liked Conan. I always thought he was funnier ones, and then he kind of got kicked out. Jay Leno came back. Anyways, Conan was always pretty good. I think he wound up coming back on like a different network or something like that.
I think he like TBS, but I think he's done. I feel like the late night thing is not as strong as it used to be. No. It's too political and too I want to lecture you. And it used to be going after everybody, but you can't do it anymore. People go a little bit too sensitive. So
yeah, true.
Who knows? But on that note, guys, that was a good conversation. It kind of went all over the place, talking about hot older women, and then we went to jail. You guys don't want no hoes. You guys don't want no hoes around you. Y'all gonna take the time. You're gonna do the bid, because y'all stand on business, and I appreciate that.
I'm doing 6 months. But as an outro, can we see that video again? Because I just put up the video. You know
which video you talking about?
Dre and Michelle. Just
God damn. Oh, all right. I'll show. I think I'll find it. I'll put it back. Give me a second.
Let's do a little outro for you. Listen, you guys might be married, and but we're men here. It's okay. We're not pigs. We're looking.
She put and she's twerking too. It's like, this is.
I don't want the twerking. The one where she was just turning around, just.
Oh, okay. All right. Hold on a second.
Yeah, that one.
Let me put it back. Hold on. So you would
Oh yeah, I would. 100%.
You would.
No, I would
then all right. Can we really sit there and criticize a man when we would do that 22? So how we get the youth to not fall for that? How can we get the young men to not do that and you put yourself in situations where now you got to take care of that child for
a lot going. A lot happening there. Lots a lot.
Like, listen.
It's a good outro. I got nothing else.
Listen, Jalen Green, just play a little better so you can get the best contract possible. This is not a
deals. You need that max deal.
Yeah, so you can, because most likely this is not gonna end well, and you still got to deal with this woman for the rest of your life. So
look at it. Giggity said, "How is that not y'all's thumbnail?" That's funny.
All right. Yeah, we're getting distracted. We got to move on. We got to move on.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your night, y'all. And we see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.
What the